Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Goldwatch League. I am your caster Hotohori, and today we are going to be bringing you a match between Team 40 and Valravn Plus. And joining me today, our caster, guest caster, is Razarip. Raza, how are you doing?
G'day Hoto, I'm pretty good. It's looking like it's going to be an interesting match today. So do you know anything about these two teams playing?
Yes, I actually interviewed both captains, and they were actually, both teams are actually going to be playing in the Goldwatch League for the first time, and both teams are very new to competitive Overwatch, so it's going to be very, very interesting. Captains for Valravn is Stack of Cups, and the captain for Team 40 is Bagel. So
it should be interesting to see how these two teams work in a competitive environment like this without a lot of practice playing organized Overwatch.
Yeah, what I was told though, I think Team 40 actually has players ready, players that are from other games. So it's not like they haven't played competitive games before. What they are is they're just new to a competitive version of Overwatch. So we're gonna go live here to Lijiang Tower.
Alright, I'm excited to see some good play today. I know there's a couple of hit scan mains, so hopefully we can see some really nice soldier visors. And yeah, Grape Ape is going to be playing the soldier and Trident on the McCree for the team. So I like me that hit scan.
Yeah, and it looks like for Team 40 here, it looks like Bagel is going to be on the Reinhardt and Rondu going with the Zarya here. So they're going with a double shield comp and playing with a flanker and a, looks like it's a soldier. So they're going hit scan flanker here, but no mercy. So it looks like those mercy changes have started to affect teams, because this is the second time today that I've seen a team run without one. So very, very interesting.
Mercy's not meta anymore.
Hey.
You don't need that res. Because you can't use it as an offensive tool, it's just nowhere near as useful. Because if you're going in for res in the middle of a team fight, you will get killed.
Yeah,
but on the
tanks are going to have to defend sort of carefully there. So
yeah, absolutely. We have on the red team, Stack of Cups on the Tracer, Trip and Mars on Diva, Trident on the McCree, Yorick on the Lucio, Siren Singer on Mercy, and Buttons on Winston, which is a very divey comp. I'm excited to see how this first fight plays out.
Yeah, so we're following Bagel here from Team 40 as they charge in, and they're going to go through to the center room and meet in the control room right here. It looks like Valravn has basically camped themselves into the server room and sort of trapped themselves in there. So they're going to have a bit of an issue trying to come out here. Basically just poking at each other right now. Point will unlock in about 5 seconds, and there goes the monkey diving in. Buttons, who is their shot caller, from what I understand, calls from the front. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. Stack of Cups is behind the line, trying to sort of poke at the supports here, and it looks like he's not getting any joy. And Team 40 here has already gained about 10% on the point, and it looks like there are not really any kills sort of coming through. They're just sort of staggering on the point there. Boat mode finally goes down here for Team 40. And 2 kills each side. Looks like Siren Singer there is going to res Stack of Cups. And it looks like the advantage is going to go to Valravn here. And I think that's it for the push.
Wow, that was a very interesting push. And they're just going to clean up now, finish off the Tracer. And blue team should be retreating. Blue team is Valravn?
It is right? Team 40.
Team 40, okay. That was a very interesting fight by Valravn. I don't think they were running a very divey kind of comp, but they didn't dive. They kind of got stuck in the server room, which really slowed them down. When they finally did dive on the point, that's when the kills started going their way.
Walk it off.
Yeah. So,
alright.
So here comes the engage again. It looks like Team 40 is going to be coming back in. And it looks like Buttons is going to be very, very aggressive here, trying to drive on the front. Dirty Rez is trying to get into the back, but boat mode goes down again, and that's going to be very, very problematic there for Team 40. They're just not going to be able to get a solid push if they keep losing a support. And since they're playing without a Mercy, it's going to be hard for them. Once they lose that guy, it's going to be over. So and they've already backed up here. They're waiting for him to come back, and the engage here is...
Both Tracers are gone now.
Yeah, both Tracers are gone. Little Spoon takes out Stack of Cups, and now here comes the engage from Team 40. Valkyrie now...
The nano-boosted Ryan.
Yeah.
Here we go, and he's not swinging.
It looks like he's getting knocked around the point here a lot by Buttons, and Buttons is knocking him around, and it looks like it's solidly in the favor of Valravn here, and they're pushing Team 40 back. They're up to 66%. They're just cutting the amount of pushes that they have left, and they're going to have to regroup.
Yeah, and Team 40 does have the ult advantage here. They have 3 ults coming up. They need to push in on these ults and take the point, because this will be final fight if they don't. It's already at 80%. They need to take this.
Yeah, we're on board with Rondo here, who has the grab, and she's probably going to use it. There it is. It's like Bagel's trying to swing,
bubble.
and it looks like they've gotten a couple kills. Trippin' Mars has gotten low. He gets demacked. We're on board with Bagel. Bagel gets taken down. Dropping the beat there, trying to sort of win this fight. We're up at 96. It's going to get to 99 here. They've got to dislodge Valravn here, or the point's going to be over. And
it looks like
Bagel's trying to get back onto the point. And it looks like here, nobody can get back on the point. And that's the first round goes to Valravn.
Wow, that was a very interesting round, I think. Team Valravn had a lot of trouble at the start figuring out their dive in their first push, but they got the communication together, they dived the point, and then they took it so easily from there. It was really great work.
Yeah.
Team 40 is going to have to really pull together if they're going to win this round.
Yeah, so it looks like I think they're going to just have to work on a little bit. Their engages were a little slow, Team 40 were. I think they needed to commit just a little bit more with regards to pushing in. But we're on to the boot map, as I call it, the Center Pagoda map. So this is where Boat Mode has got to stay alive here and make sure that he gets some Enviro kills to help out his team. Because with them not running a Mercy, they're going to need as many kills as they can here from all of their members. So here they come. They're going to come through the side here, trying to avoid any Pharah play that's going to be in. And so they're going to come through here, and they're going to come in the back door. The engage starts right away, and Bagel's just sort of holding at the front door. He's not sort of charging in, letting Buttons do a little bit of damage, and they just shoot through that shield and take Buttons out. He gets rezzed immediately. And Buttons now diving back into the point, and it's just, they're going to allow Valravn here to sort of sit on the point and fight it out. Rondo takes out Trident here, so there goes the Pharah. They should be charging in here.
Yeah, they have the advantage, but they're not. They're just kind of sticking around.
Yeah, they're a little slow. Then that's not going to be good for them. So they engage finally on the point here. Bagel's a little low, but it looks like he's gotten the antidote. Stack of Cups goes down. 4 ults now on the side of Valravn here, so we should start seeing ults coming through. Buttons is ulting now, trying to get people off the point. Dirty Rez, the visor comes up on Dirty Rez, trying to sort of take out the rest of the team, but the kills have been going all Valravn. Graviton here.
And the Grav comes out already. They're also getting charged so fast.
Exactly, and it looks like they still can't dislodge them, and down she goes. And Buttons there is just sort of owning people, just making sure he's staying alive and making sure that they're just not engaging clean, and that's another win for Valravn right there.
Absolutely. Team 40 needs to work on their grab communication. They've had 2 or 3 grabs so far this game, but they don't capitalize on the grabs. They're not swinging into them, they're not ulting into them. They need to combo their ults, but whatever they're doing, they need to use their grabs more effectively if they're going to win team fights.
Yeah, Rondo's been getting them fairly quickly too, so therefore it's like the next time they have it, they'll probably have one before the end of this round. So hopefully they can sort of combo it here. Now a little they're held up again at this choke on the engage. They just don't want to fully commit. They get Buttons finally, but he gets tossed up in the air. But Bagel took the worst for that. Looks like a Diva Bomb going into the back. Takes out 2. Ooh. That's gonna kill the push here, and Valravn here is gonna kill it at about 80%. They're just gonna stagger the rest of the DPS here, and that's big trouble for Team 40.
That's 2 boops by Yorick in that fight. I saw that. Good work, Yorick. Pro Lucio right there. And it looks like they're gonna have to stagger on the point if they can even make it on. It's already at 94%.
Bagel's gonna have to charge right in as soon as he gets here. He can't wait, so therefore they're gonna come in right now. Here's the engage. Buttons gets purpled by the Ana grenade, but I don't think that's going to affect him very much. He's going to wait it out and just basically go after Bagel. The fight here now, we're going to be on board with Buttons. Hey, it seems like he's doing he gets charged, but he still stays alive, and he's ulting now, just trying to dislodge everybody from the point. We got a nanoed Reinhardt here too, and the kills are finally going the way of Team 40, and it looks like they've dropped a beat. They've sort of blown all of their ults here just to take this point, and I guess they really had to, and that's going to be the take for Team 40.
Absolutely. Wow, that was impressive. Grey Paper's been holding his ult for a long time. Seeing him finally use it was excellent. They have double hit scan, but they're still having a lot of trouble dealing with the Pharah. I think they should be focusing her out before the fight really begins, or ignoring her until the fight's over.
Yeah, they're having a lot of trouble because on their engages, they're going through the back and basically trying to avoid the Pharah as much as they can. We'll need a pause here.
Yep, Trident's left the game. Let's see how long it takes for our attendant to notice.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, with what's been going on here, it looks like Team 40 finally got that engage correctly, and they had to sort of be a little reckless. Remember, it's one of those things in which sometimes when you're up against the wall, that's when you actually sort of start being a little aggressive and start blowing your ults. I just see too much hesitation on the side of Team 40. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, Raza?
Absolutely. It doesn't look like they're willing to dive. They look like they're scared of getting killed, so they're just kind of hanging back behind the Reinhardt shield. And it's not working out well. They need to be pushing forward. That's the point of a death ball. Stay together, output that damage. If they're not going to push in, they're not going to win fights. When they did push in last time, they were forced to, otherwise they would have lost the round, and they took it. It was a really great fight. If they can fight with that desperation, if they can push in on their attacks, I think they can take this round.
Yeah, and they're going to have the advantage here with the disconnect. That basically resets the ult for the side of Valravn for their player who got disconnected. So they'll be essentially be fighting 6-on-5 here for a good maybe 15 seconds or so. So they'll get basically up to about 50% cap, and they need to, you're right, they need to fight with that desperation that they had when they had to engage there at 99%, because I think if they were to just get a little bit more aggressive, I think the team fights would go their way and just sort of say, okay, we're not playing with a Mercy, we're playing with an Ana and a Lucio, but we can sort of keep everybody up and you don't have to be afraid. But
yeah, absolutely. And if when Trident gets back, that's going to be another 10 seconds of advantage that Team 40 has, because they're either going to fight 5v6 and lose the round, or they are going, not the round, lose the fight, or they're going to wait for Trident and stall for another 10 seconds.
Yeah,
and
so
he's
getting back on now, it looks like.
That's because it shouldn't be too much longer until we unpause again. Do you think that Team Valravn is going to push in 5v6, or do you think they're going to fall back and wait for Trident?
They're at 99, so what I'm seeing is that they only really need to win one fight. So I would wait for Trident to come back and push in as a full 6. I mean, that you're essentially giving up about 15%. But at least that way you have a better chance of winning the fight as opposed to not. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. They're sort of backing up here. Stack of Cups got slept, but he got slept in the bubble, but they're all backing up. They're going to be waiting for Trident to come back.
That was a great protective bubble by Buttons there. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it was a genius move.
Yeah, he's the guy that the captain has said is going to be like their sort of like leader on the field here, and definitely just immediately engages, comes in. Bagel was actually pulse bombed there. Looks like there's a good Earth Shatter. And it looks like here's the Graviton, swinging away. Bagel's going to try to take out Buttons, but Diva self-destruct here gets boat mode, and Buttons gets rezzed. So the fight here is going to extend out a little bit. So we're looking at going to be in a bit of an extended fight. Buttons he's got the healing, but nope, he's down. So we're with Bagel, and it looks like they're going to hold it here, and they're going to have a good chance to hold this to about 90-95% before the next engage actually happens. So good work there by Team 40.
So regardless, this next fight will be final fight, and Team 40 has the ult advantage here. They have almost both offense ult and they have the Earth Shatter, as opposed to Buttons with his... Oh, and Buttons uses his ult now, charging in.
I think he's basically just trying to get engaged and trying to position the opposing players into that high noon, but Dirty Rez basically is ulting and killing everyone right now. He's got 2. He takes out both Trident and the Mercy, and he also D-Mex Trippin' Mars. It's 99. It's a brawl on the point here, and the advantage looks like it's going to Team 40. They've got one person left. It's a D-Mech Diva, and that is going to be it, I think.
That's going to be it.
Team 40 wins the fight, and it's 1-1.
Dirty Rez and Bagel were doing so much work at the end there. They were just getting all those kills. That was such great work by Team 40.
Score 1-1.
So we're going to a map 3, and we're going to, it looks like Night Market, if I remember right.
Night Market, I think you're correct.
Yeah. So this is also
Okay.
a Pharah map, so expect Pharahs from both sides, and I think that's exactly what we're getting.
Yeah, on Team Valravn, we have a switch to the Reaper, which is very interesting from Stack of Cups. They're looking... I'm not sure that...
Oh, Raza, you're slow. You're disconnecting there. I think we're having a couple of Discord errors. So it looks like the Stack of Cups has gone from the Tracer to the Reaper, looking for maybe some sort of frontline attack here. Maybe the Tracer wasn't working. So they're immediately going to get on point. So Valravn gets immediately on point. And they're going to be attacking in. Bagel just sort of swinging away and trying to see if he can get anybody. We're going to go on to the DPS here with Grape Ape to see what's going on up in the air. He's just shooting down. And it looks like Team 40 here has the... No, it doesn't. Valravn comes back to the point and are re-engaging. It's just a giant brawl at this point. Bagel is now swinging away, trying to get everybody up, but it looks like finally that's going to clear out the point, and that is going to be a take for Team 40. We're still having some Discord issues here with Raza, so I'm going to be casting individually here in the meantime in order to sort of fix up what's going on.
Team 40.
Oh yeah, there you are, Raza. How you doing?
You've been breaking up a bit.
Have I been breaking up, or have you?
Yeah, can't hear you at all.
So.
All right, and Raven is about to push in, a bit spread out. Pharah's got free range right now, which is really nice for Grape Ape. And, ooh, that was almost a really great boop on Buttons, but not quite. And it looks like they're going to push in. It's very interesting that they're going to push in over the cliff when there's a Pharah, but Pharah doesn't get any boops, and they're going to push in. Yorick uses the Lucio ult, and a massive Earth Shatter, and another Lucio ult from boat mode, along with the Grape Ape. The Justice is raining. Ooh, Diva gets slept in the air. That was incredible by Little Spoon. And it looks like Team 40 is just going to clean up. Are they going to stagger the baby Diva? She's trying to run away. She probably should just be jumping off the cliff to get her mech back, but instead she's going to run back to spawn. Yep. And that is another fight for Team 40. And
that was a great fight. I think I probably was the one having lag issues. I just sort of checked the stream. We are a little fuzzy, so please excuse us for the connection issues here. So now it looks like Team 40 now has solid control of this point. They're up to about 75% and just sort of trapping Valravn in their spawn. A bit of a reversal of fortune here from the first match where Valravn really had control center really down. And it looks like Buttons is going to be ulting here, making sure that he gets on point. He's going to try to sort of get in there, and Stack of Cups takes out Bagel. It looks like the fight is definitely going the way of Valravn here. All the kills coming up red. They just have to get rid of that Mercy there, so
Absolutely, and it looks like Valravn invested quite a few ults into taking that fight, but it is at 99 for Team 40, who has 4 ults, sorry, now that Bagel's got his Earth Shadow. So if they push in on those ults, they should be able to take this fight, but it really depends if they can use those economically.
Yes, exactly. So we've got basically a reverse of what happened before. So now it was Valravn before who had the 99%, and Team 40 was the one that came back on them. Now it looks like Valravn's trying to push out and do the exact same thing to them. Dirty Res takes out 2. He's basically nano ult. He's boosted here. Strush trying to take out Trident as best as he can into the Graviton.
Oh wow! And that's a team kill. That's going to knock out everyone, and that's going to be the game. Stack of Cups won't be able to get back on time.
And that is it. Team 40 takes the first map of Lijiang 2-1.
Incredible. I didn't think that Team 40 had a very strong chance after the first round, but they really pulled it together with their death ball. They started to play more aggressively and they were winning fights.
Nerf this.
Alright, let's have a look at this play the game. Tripping Mars with 2 on the Diva Bomb. That feels good. And Yorick with the boot. Very nice game by Tripping Mars. Very, very good Diva, especially with the Matrix. Matrixing the Pharah ult especially. It was so good to watch. That Tripping Mars was doing a lot of work for his team.
Yeah, and that was a great reversal there. Team 40 looked like they came out and possibly a little nervous, a little hesitant, and the disconnect from Valravn there, tried to disconnect, basically turned the game. allowed the Team 40 to sort of gather its breath a little bit, sort of settle in and make sure that they had this fight. They were doing everything right. They needed to be aggressive. It looks like they're better at holding the point than attacking the point, is basically what I'm seeing from Team 40. So now we're going to end up going into the hybrid map. So if you are unfamiliar with the way that the Goldwatch League works, there is going to be 4 maps with regards to this game. So we start on a dedicated control map, which was Lijiang Tower here, and then we will go to a hybrid map, a 2CP map, a 2-point capture map, and an escort map. So the team that lost, and in this case that will be Valravn, will have map choice on hybrid. And
what do you see them picking, Hodo? I think for Valravn, they were using the Pharaoh a lot. I could see them picking something like Eichenwald.
I could see that. It would definitely be a map that will probably try to sort of help with Trident's Farah. So you're right, Eichenwald would work. Numbani is another one that would work, and it looks like Numbani is going to be the pick. That's what Trident is coming out.
Favorite map.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, and Team 40 will most likely pick defense because everyone wants to defend first. And it looks like we will be starting soon. I think Numbani is a really interesting pick, and I think it will give Valravn the advantage here, especially with their dive comp.
Exactly. So it'll play into the aggressiveness that Valravn is sort of playing into, and I think with them being able to sort of dive in on them on Team 40 and have maybe the Farah Trident playing that Farah, that's going to be good for them. As for Team 40, we might have some issues here on the on their engage. So it seemed like that they were having issues on engaging a point. So we might see a slower sort of push from Team 40 here, a little bit more methodical, not necessarily divey. So as I fix my overlay here, just to make sure that the teams are on the proper sides.
I think Valravn is going to have a bit of trouble taking the point. I think once Team 40. Once Team 40 has taken point A, I don't think they're going to have much trouble with the payload for a while, because payload maps do work well with the death ball kind of comp like they've been running. I think most of their struggle with this map will be capping point A. And I think it'll be the reverse with Valravn, who's running dive comp. They'll take point A fairly easily, I think, but they will have trouble holding the payload.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you're right there. So it'll be interesting, though. So it looks like Fuzzbug is going to be coming in for Rondu on for Team 40. So Rondu, who was their Zarya player in the last round. So this could be, I'm thinking possibly this is a tank for tank switch.
I believe so.
Yeah.
All right, and it looks like we're about to enter game now, so it should be interesting to see what comps they run with. I'm hoping that Valravn runs another dive comp, because I think it's very interesting to watch.
I like the difference between the two teams. So, like, yeah, you're seeing like a really different sort of style from. You have Team 40, who's a little bit more methodical, a little slow, with a more of a Reinhardt shield comp, and then you have Buttons and Valravn with that dive. So it's very, very interesting to see the differences between the two. But it looks like no real changes on the blue side here for Buttons on that. Buttons really liking that Winston. Trident, instead of going the Farah, I think he's going to start on Junkrat, it looks like. And Trippin' Mars on the Diva. Stack of Cups will now be on the Soldier. And the two supports will be the Zen Mercy, which is something that Stack of Cups said that is their best sort of combination of supports, is that Zen and Mercy.
And Zen works so well in this map because there's so many good points just to sit on the higher ground and spam those orbs down. On Team Valravn, we have Bagel on the Diva, Fuzzbug on Mercy, Boat Mode on the Zen, so they're both using the same healers. We have Dirty Rose on the Winston, Grape Ape on the Pharaoh again, and Little Spoon on the Tracer. Alright, and this is interesting. So this comp isn't going... It feels like it's only half dive. They don't have a Lucio. They don't have the... They have the Pharaoh instead of a Soldier or a Genji. I'm interested to see how this plays out for Team Valravn without the full dive.
Yeah, they're going to have to commit to a target, and I think this is what this comp is sort of going to do. So with Team 40 sort of basically going in with like a half dive, they're basically going to solid pick players that they want to kill, and everybody's going to sort of just jump on that one guy. It's not going to be like a real dive where they're just going into a backline and hope to take out a support. I think they're going to be picky about who they select, and that's exactly what they do. They go right up top, and they're just attacking the first person they see, and it looks like Trippin' Mars at this point, who's trying to shield as much damage as he can. And Dirty Res takes out Buttons, and it looks like kills are coming the side of Team 40 here. Siren Singer has res Buttons here, and Buttons takes out Dirty Res, so there goes the tank for Team 40, and it looks like a res on their side, so this is going to be a very extended fight. Buttons takes out
Buttons
two.
doing work.
Buttons is doing work. And
that was 3 kills there by Buttons, I think.
Yeah, and he's the one that's calling the target. So it's actually really interesting with pause again. Boat mode looks like another disconnect.
This time from Team Valravn, I think that is.
No, it's from Team 40.
Oh, I've been calling them Valravn. Sorry, guys. Well, that was a very interesting push by Team 40 then. They were very grouped up, they went in, they picked off the target, it was really great, but then they really split up. They had a couple on point, a couple up top, and their whole dive comp kind of fell apart, and that's when they started getting picked off. If they're going to run this kind of comp, they need to be sticking together at all times as a group, otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah, and that's an issue. That takes practice, though, as a team. If you haven't, like, sort of practiced this properly, and if you do get split up on a half dive like this, that's exactly what happened. That they need to do now is they basically have to sort of get together and make sure when they're calling the exact same target, and every person needs to be attacking that target. It's going to be super important that they actually dive the same target and not get split up the way they got split up. At the beginning there, it looked like they were going after the target that was on the far side of the point, which looked like it was really good, but it was being protected there by Trippin' Mars, who wasn't allowing anybody through. They did end up getting Buttons, who was exposed out there, but then he immediately got rezzed, and that's it. Looks like we're now back. And
back. And Boat Mode has lost all of his old charge, which is a shame, because he was doing fairly well.
Yeah, that's not good for the Lucio to lose as much charge as he did. Because
this is interesting. Grape Ape has swapped off the Pharaoh to Genji, so they're running a full dive almost at this point. They're going to commit to the dive. They don't have the Lucio, they want the res, but they've decided they really want to full dive this, and let's see how this works out.
Yeah, the real issue here is they're not running a Lucio for the speed, so that's going to be a bit of a problem here, and kills now still coming for Valravn. And it looks like 2 kills here. Stack of Cups takes out Dirty Res, and like a Diva Bomb here just to sort of clear out the point. And it looks like Bagel's the only one left on the point here. He's going to get killed. Grape Ape is going to have to back up. Buttons is going to go right after him, going to try to take him out, and that's going to be the end of that push.
That was a swift end to a swift push. Who is it? The Little Spoon's going to be feeling a little bit salty. He's been picked off by the enemy McCree about 3 times so far, and it's rough. I've been watching it. Flashbang headshot. Feels bad, Little Spoon. I feel your pain. And he's switching to Widow now. Hopefully he can kill that McCree. Yeah, we're gonna go to Witherspoon here. So we're hoping that he can pop some heads here and maybe give an opening. The idea here is that Witherspoon is going to stand somewhat farther back to make sure that he can sort of get some picks. It doesn't look like he gets anybody. Trident takes out Fuzzbug, and the kills are all going the side of Valravn here, and Witherspoon's not going to have anybody to really sort of target as the rest of his team is sort of dead, and he's going to have to push back, and Yorick picks him off in the side, and that was also another quick push. They blew 3 ults on the side of Valravn there, but they still have the advantage with 1 minute left to go on the first point take here for Team 40. And this is going to be a very interesting final push here. This is probably going to be the last push, if not the second last. Grape Ape needs to pick off that Mercy with a Dragon Blade if he can. The Zen as well, because that trance will end this push if they can use it right. Alright, and Little Spoon proceeds to not get any picks. Little Spoon's getting a lot of body shots off though. Already has his ult. And the trance comes out with the Dragon Blade. That is unfortunate timing, but great by Yorick.
Yep, and it looks like And it looks like kills are fairly even here. This is probably going to end up being the last push. So, but the kills have been going the side of Team 40 here, and they look like they're going to get some time on the point here if they can just sort of avoid the self-destruct. They don't want a C9 here, just because there is about 10 seconds left. Can sort of Valravn hold off and make sure that they can keep this point? I think it's going to be a losing fight. He's going to have to back off, and that's going to be, I think, the take for Team 40.
They're going to give it away. That's going to be it. The Mercy gets picked as well, so they should push forward right now as soon as they can and finish off the rest of the team if they can.
Yeah, it looks like...
Oh, what an excellent push.
Stop the payload.
Looks like Witherspoon there is trying to sort of push people back. He's trying to sort of aim at them. Bagel is basically going after the targets and trying to give his team some space here so that they can move the cart and get some push in. It's going to be super important for them to keep pushing up to make sure that Valravn does not sort of settle in and get a solid defense here. They only have 2 minutes to get through this streets phase. And any sort of stall or stoppage is going to be very, very hard for Team 40 to sort of re-engage and re-attack. And now the fight here is now going all on top. No kills coming through yet. Buttons being aggressive gets taken out by Great Bait. And it looks like we have a Genji ult in the back there. He's charging out. That looks like a counter soldier ult by Stack of Cups. He takes out the Genji.
Oh, and I just want to point out Little Spoon there with the 2 headshots on the Genji and the Zen. That was excellent work by him.
Yeah, we were told to look out for Witherspoon by the team captain.
2 more picks right then. That's 4 picks by Little Spoon total. That is 5.
Oh, and another
6
headshot.
Picks. That is brilliant. I was very much doubting Little Spoon on the Widow, but after those 6 picks in a row, no longer. Early on in point A,
oh,
and
another pickup on Trident there.
That's again, and Little Spoon, his shoulders must be hurting right now because he is carrying hard.
So it looks like here that they were not ready for this Widow pick, and they're going to try to make sure that they're going to need to dive on her. If they give Witherspoon any more room, she's going to take down the rest of Valravn here, and I think they're a little shell shocked. By the way that how fast that was sort of taken through the streets phase. The engaging happens right here on the payload, and sort of kills going, no kills going on. Yeah, Buttons is trying to push people back off. He's going to basically make Team 40 sort of disengage here, and a Dragon's going to come through. That's going to kill Fuzzbug, gets caught up in the Dragon, and Bagel gets... Yeah, and this is the hold that Team 40 had to be careful of. They only have about 146 left on this last phase, but they're going to have to reset here, and that was a pretty good Hanzo Dragon by Trident. You know something about Hanzo, don't you, Raza?
Yeah, that was very excellent by Trident. I think he switched to counter the Widow, Sniper v Sniper. He hasn't done an incredible job of killing the Widow, but he has been putting a lot of damage out into the map, which has been really excellent.
Yeah, the ults here are looking 3-1. Team 40 has the advantage here, so if they can use these ults properly, it's going to be a pretty solid push. Stack of Cups is probably going to get his ult in the next fight. It looks like there's a small engage here in the top room. They're just sort of poking here. Bagel's sort of figuring out what's going on. 2 kills happen away from the main push. It looks like on the payload, Buttons is still protecting as best as he can. And Boatmo drops the beat here. Only catches 2 people, so that's going to be kills specifically for Valravn, and now we're down to 45 seconds. There's only about 1 push left. They got split up there on that push. It looks like half of them went high, half of them went low. Did you see what I see, Raza?
That was not a very good move, and that will have costed them the fight. There's only 30 seconds left for Team 40 right now. I'm being told my Discord is lagging, so I'm going to disconnect and try to fix that, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Guys.
Okay. So I will take care of the rest of the commentary here. We're in free mode here, and we're going to watch on the final 17 seconds of this push. So boat mode and Buttons basically trying to push in, and it looks like another Dragon coming in from behind. Buttons takes out Bagel, and here comes the Valkyrie, raises Bagel back up. Got to be careful here. Valravn they need to not lose anybody, or it could be in an extended delay. That's going to be the advantage that Team 40 is going to look for. Yorick comes in with the Transcendence here to sort of stall it even longer. Trident gets the kill on boat mode. Dirty Rez takes out Fuzzbug, and kills just going left and right. Looks like it's just a solid brawl here on the point. No real advantage from either team yet, but Team 40 cannot leave the point. They have to stay on the payload or the game is over. And that is going to end it. They take it basically to the first corner of point 3, so 2 points for Team 40. And Valravn now knows how far they need to go to win on Numbani here. They will need to take it just before the second corner. That's where the golden box of victory is. And we're going to be starting to look at what Valravn is going to attack with. I don't think they're going to be changing their aggressive sort of movement. Buttons will stay on the Winston, Yorick, Trident, and Stack of Cups. Not really changing Stack of Cups back on the Tracer. He was on the Soldier before, so he's just sort of moving in and forth between a flanker and a hit scan player. Trip and Mars will stay on the Diva, so they've got sort of this partial dive going on here. Trident also is going to be very useful, going to be in the air. Siren Singer with the Pharmacy. On Team 40, it looks like Bagel has gone to the Reinhardt. So we're going to lose the Winston on defense here. Dirty Rez will be on the Zarya, and it looks like they're going double hit scan. So we were told to look out for this. It's sort of a bit of a vanilla comp. So with Grape Ape and Little Spoon here on the 2 hit scan players, Fuzzbug and Boat Mode on the Anna Mercy. So on the Zenyatta Mercy. So we're going to be looking for picks. That's exactly what Team 40 is going to be looking for. And Little Spoon is going to be, instead of doing it on a Widow, he's going to be doing it on a McCree. So 10 seconds before the fight here starts. And we're going to end up going here in just a sec.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
No real changes at the last minute. No fooling the casters. None of that junk. It looks like here it's going to be straight up. They're going to head straight up above, and they're going to go straight for the high ground here. Stack of Cups sort of poking, trying to figure out where they are. Buttons was going to jump in. He's going to try to decide what they're going to do. It looks like they're going to wrap all the way around. Bagel and team are ready for it, though, and then Buttons just goes ahead and dives in, along with Trip and Mars and Trident. But Trident gets taken down here. Buttons getting the majority of the healing. Trident gets rezzed here. He did die in a pretty decent spot. Dirty Rez is exposed here on the top. Gets the bubble up. But Buttons does go down. Trident is trying his best to basically sort of pick off any healers there. It looks like he's going to get trapped in with a Reinhardt, and that's not going to be good. Bagel's going to take him out, and that's going to be. It looks like that's going to be the end of the push here for Valravn. So good stop here in the very beginning. No ult yet from either team. And we're going to go to the second push. No changes coming out. Little Spoon for Team 40 here as almost got his high noon. So they have to be careful here, Valravn does. Just so that they got to be careful just to make sure they look out for that McCree, because he could pull that out at any second and just sort of end the push right away. Trident now on the Genji. I think trying to sort of dive in a little bit. It looks like Grape Ape was a little bit of out in the back. Little Spoon uses the high noon exactly on Siren Singer and just going to end the push right there. No mercy, no push. That's exactly what Valravn has decided. They're going to back up. And he's gonna, and it looks like Little Spoon is going to buy his team an additional about 20 seconds here. Fuzzbug has got the Valkyrie up, and it doesn't look like Valravn is close to any ults. Siren Singer at 75% here. She's going to be the only one that's going to have an ult here at the next engage, unless something drastically changes. Buttons is sort of poking, diving in, trying to see what kind of setup they have. They're sort of set up here in the middle, making sure that they don't sort of catch high on them. Grape Ape has got the other side, and Buttons here is just a little hesitant. He's going to dive in. He's got a Discord orb, so he's got to fall right back out. He doesn't want to make sure that he gets caught up there, but like now, 2 people on the point. They're going to have to drop down. Bagel is going to start swinging. He's going to have his Earth Shatter up soon, so look for it to come out right after this. Looks like Fuzzbug pulls out the Valkyrie, and it looks like all the kills are going the way of Valravn. Kill feed is coming up blue. There goes Little Spoon, and I think that's going to be it. And Stack of Cups is going to start pushing forward, making sure that they don't get sort of charged back on here. Here comes Grape Ape here, trying to make sure that he sort of gets some damage in, but he probably should just back off with Bagel and fall back behind the point. and set up a sort of a good defense here on second corner. Excuse me. So Bagel has established second corner, and no real changes coming from either team. The ult advantage is really with Team 40 here, so they need to make sure that they get aggressive on this defense, but maybe not too aggressive. They want to make sure they don't overuse any of their ults here. Dirty Res has another Valkyrie here, so that could end a push almost immediately. They're really just sort of poking here. They're going to give up a little bit of space, giving them up to first corner. Maybe just make sure that they want to make sure. And there's the Graviton. We knew that was going to come out. Bagel's got to start swinging, making sure he gets anybody. No real follow-up there. Yorick takes out Bagel, but Grape Ape takes out people. But Trip and Mars takes out 2 with that Diva Bomb in the back line. Kills are pretty even. Buttons right now is on the point and looks like they're going to get solid push. Dirty Res has to back up, because it's only him and the Mercy. Dirty Res loses the Mercy, and he's really now got to back up. The spawn's now not in favor of Team 40 at all, so unless they charge in and start staggering in, it could be a full take on the second point for Valravn here with plenty of time. Looks like Bagel here is now engaging, making sure he gets the point, goes for the Earth Shatter and gets killed right away. That shield is not really allowing anything in, and kills have been going all the way to Valravn. They're going to push up. They're just going to leave Yorick back on the point. Dirty Res takes out Trident. They're starting to push. That box of victory is right there. They don't need to have to go all the way, but they're trying to push them all the way back to spawn with... and they've got him trapped back here. It looks like they're having serious issues trying to sort of get back to this point. Bagel is sort of waiting for the rest of his team. They've got to go quick, or they're not going to have a chance at this. Bagel's got to charge in now. Grape Ape makes it to the point. Make sure that he stops that payload on its way. Bagel finally engages, but gets rocketed right to the face. And then a Graviton here just to basically stall it up. It looks like there is a Transcendence there. Little Spoon takes out 2. But Siren Singer with the Valkyrie, good timing on the Valkyrie there, making sure that the 2 got taken down, come right back up. And it's just Bagel here on the point. The rest of his team is too far back. They have to deal with the flankers who are just sort of messing with them now. Looks like Fuzzbug gets taken out. Bagel's the only one left. Dirty Res finally makes it to the point, but he's discorded, and that's going to be it. Oh no! Grape Ape still stalling on the point, trying to be a hero. Oh, and he finally gets taken out. Yorick takes out 2. The Zen ult comes in, but too late. Valravn takes the point. 3-2. So, good job there by Valravn. And play of the game going to the Genji. Raza still having some Discord issues now. Please excuse us, we're sort of lagging here. So hopefully we can sort of get this fixed for the next round. But we're going back to the lobby, and it will be Team 40's choice of next map, where we are going to CP. So now the map is tied at 1-1. Two CP is indeed the choice between the two teams. So it will be Team 40's choice. Is that Raza I hear in the background?
That is. So I am back on. If I'm lagging out streaming, please let me know so I can hop off, because you guys don't want to hear lag over Discord or Twitch. But until my Discord fails, I am back on. That was a really great match on Icon World. I was watching that even though I was not.
You mean on Numbani?
That's the same thing, yes. I was watching, I swear. No, that was really, really good though. Great stall at the end as well. And I'm excited for the next map. Anubis, wow, Draw Anubis is a really interesting pick. I'm not sure how confident I would be picking Anubis, renowned for its draws.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. I think they're going to play. They're picking Anubis here because I think they're trying to play into the strength of Little Spoon. With Little Spoon being a very, very good Widowmaker here, I think they're going to try to use that to their advantage. And Valravn's got to be careful. So, we saw Little Spoon sort of go off in that sort of streets phase of Numbani. So what they're probably going to do is they're going to play some sort of Widow attack comp here You know what? I had it right the first time. I'm going to have to switch it back. And they're going to play some sort of Widow attack comp to sort of give Little Spoon some space so that when they attack, Little Spoon is going to be sort of picking them off in the back, picking them off from the high ground around the gate, so that it'll give them sort of an easy take on point one.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. If they can get Little Spoon up top, just getting picks, and they will take the first point easily. It's going to be Valravn's. It's going to be a challenge for those guys to stop him getting into position, basically. So I think they'll be running either a Genji or a Winston/Diva.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like we are going to be heading in soon. Kill cams are apparently not off, which isn't good. People who don't know, when you have kill cams on, you can see the ult charge of the person who killed you, which is a really massive advantage in a game like this, because you can look out for ults next fight and such and such. So having kill cams off is very important.
Yeah, and then it looks like Hobo says also got to fix the team names also, so we don't have two Valravns in the match.
Alrighty, and just for some fun, Little Spoon has 60 hours on Ana and 26 hours on Widow. That's a lot of sniping practice, but in comparison, 27 minutes on Hanzo. Not really relevant, but it's interesting. Little Spoon is really great on the Widow. I really hope that we see some more of that Widow on this Anubis attack.
Yeah, if Little Spoon does what I think he's going to do, we're going to have the cam follow him throughout the sort of the first point take, just because casters are ready.
Go.
So hopefully this is going to turn out really, really well for Team 40. So this was their pick. So I think that's sort of what we're going to be expecting to take.
Now entering the temple of Anubis.
And for Stack of Cups and Valravn, we're going to see how they're going to try to defend this. And they are... Oh, I saw Doomfist for a second. Oh, I'm hoping, but it looks like Buttons and Trippin' Mars going to their good old standard. Nope. They're still deciding here. I think they're just sort of discussing in the first 15 seconds before they have to sort of roll out. But Buttons, I think he's so comfortable on the Winston, and it might be the proper pick here because he might need to dive on Little Spoon if he does end up going that Widow. But, oh, it doesn't look like we're going to get the Widow. But
Oh, no. What a shame.
He could be fooling us. I don't know. But it looks like Stack of Cups going on the Tracer. Trippin' Mars on the Diva. Trident there on the hit scan Soldier. Yorick on the Zen. Siren Singer on the Mercy. And then
Mercy.
Buttons on the Winston.
And on the flip side, we have Bagel on the Reinhardt, Fuzzbug on the Mercy, Boat Mode on Lucio, Rundu on the Zarya, Grape Ape on Pharah, and Little Spoon on Soldier. So these comps are all very similar to other comps we've seen these guys run so far this game. So I think this should be a very similarly run game. The pushes should be very similar. But I am very interested to see how Grape Ape handles the Zen and Soldier in Trident and Yorick. I think they will have to switch off the Grape Ape fairly soon into the game after a push or two.
Yeah, I mean, Trident's going to be strictly responsible here for making sure that Grape Ape goes down. Yorick is going to help, but the way that it looks like Team 40 is set up, they're going to be setting up for like a slower type push. It'll be interesting to see if they go right or left. There is no Junkrat in play, so they can go left here without really any real hard worry of them getting sort of trapped in and getting blown up. But it looks like Buttons immediately engages in right into the small room, just trying to get as much damage as he can. He needs to stay alive here. He can't get taken out. Trident takes out Grape Ape. So there goes the Pharah on the attack. They're still pushing in though, so Little Spoon takes out Trippin' Mars' mech and takes Buttons out. Trippin' Mars though takes out Rondo on the bridge. So Buttons gets res here and he's going to re-engage, but this slow sort of methodical push has now pushed them all the way to the other side of the bridge. Where they've got Stack of Cups here sort of attacking, and now they've sort of switched sides, went across the bridge, and now going to high ground.
This is interesting. They're just walking around the point without ever touching it.
Yeah, I think they're looking for picks, and they got Stack of Cups here, but Trident took out Little Spoon, so that's going to be their hard carry. Gone. Both tanks are now up at the top. Valkyrie popped by Fuzzbug, trying to just keep both of them alive, keep the entire team alive here. That forces both tanks to sort of drop down. Button's ulting here, just sort of trying to disrupt this line. Hopefully he can sort of try to take anything, but I don't think it's going to come to much, as he's not going to do that much damage, but he's just basically stalling them on top.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're going to jump down soon. They're just sitting up top. Grey Paper's doing a lot of work on the side. Ooh, and the Zen ult comes out for Yorick. That is a great ult. Stack of Cups has now changed to the McCree to help counter that Grey Paper and the Pharah. It's not working out too well as he just got picked off by the Pharah. The kills are going both ways, and it looks like this fight will go blue.
Yeah, this is going to end the push for Team 40 here. That Lucio is stalling he probably should have just given up the point as fast as he could so he doesn't stall his team out any longer. But 145 left here. That was an extremely long first push, just because of the path that Team 40 sort of went. They went all the way around and didn't necessarily get on the point right away, and they killed half their clock trying to get there. But here they come again, going through the small room. They're going to try to do exactly what they did before, and then basically try to get as many picks as they can, getting through the door. Stack of Cups takes out Rondo, and Buttons here is by himself on the front. They should just focus on him and take him out, and that would be a really big loss for Valravn here. Rondo looks like he just used his ult, but it got eaten by the D.Va. So
wow, that is unfortunate.
Oh, a D.Va bomb going into the small room here. Doesn't take out anyone. Shields were up.
Shielded up by Bagel.
Yep, exactly. So Button's now trying to sort of hold them into the point. 1 minute left on this push. So it looks like they still haven't come out yet.
Passive.
Yeah, they're way too passive. They need to either commit or come back and come out. It looks like a Zen ult here by Yorick, just trying to keep his team alive. Button's on the receiving end of another res here. Valkyrie popped by Valravn, and now they're finally commit. Kills now coming in for Team 40. It looks like lots of kills here. 2 people down for Valravn. Now they're finally committing to the point. Buttons is ulting, trying to stay alive as much as he can. Little Spoon trying to take out that Pharah up in the air. He's going to try to take out Stack of Cups. And down he goes, and that's going to be the take, finally, for Team 40.
And blue team needs to back off right now. That Winston's going to get killed, and they're going to snowball in on that.
Yeah, Siren Singer there is going to get killed. Tried for the last second res, and they've got 4 seconds here. If I am Team 40 here, I run. Run to the point, run to the fast as you can, and snowball it now. But it looks like I think caution is going to get the better of them. They're going to wait up, and they're going to slow push this onto the second point.
Not a good decision. They had 4 ults. It was 6v4. They should have just run in. But let's see how they can take it now. Grey Paper up top. He's looking for a good Dragon Blade.
Yeah, that Winston now just sort of holding up the middle point, making sure, like, he's diving in. They're backing up again. They're, I think, looking for a pick here. They just want to make sure that they have the advantage on these fights, going in at least sort of like 5v6 or 6v4 here before they completely commit to the engage. Look, another Zarya ult comes out in the middle. That's going to tip.
Oh, and the trance. But the trance is not enough. They're getting the picks through anyway. It's just too much damage coming out.
Yes, now they finally commit to the point here. Button's trying to be the hero here. It's going to have to try to stay alive, or percentage is going to be gained here by Team 40. They're going to need to hold off people. That's 1 tick. That's 2 ticks. The Trippin' Mars has got to get on the point here to sort of stall it. He gets on the point, gets immediately charged. They're up to 90%. If they can finish off these kills, that's going to be it for Valravn. Team 40 looking good. They just have to make sure that they stay focused and take out the last staggerers of Valravn here. But Grape Ape takes out Stack of Cups, and they're just sort of hanging here on the edge, trying to make sure that they don't really commit. D.Va gets demet, Siren Singer reses Stack of Cups, but the kills are all going the way of Team 40. But it looks like they're still stalling, and that's finally going to be
That's it. Wow, that was very impressive. It was a very slow, methodical push on point A, but they just took point B so fast, so aggressively, and it was just excellent to watch.
That was what sort of Bagel told me. They're not really a diving team. They don't sort of go in there and sort of rush like chickens with their heads cut off. They want to do it slow. They want to be methodical, and that's exactly what we saw. We were calling in and telling them to say, hey, maybe you should rush in. They decided to do it their way and sort of slow in, make sure that they were set, ready to go, And it really showed on that push because it really only took them one try to get that point. And with 2:22 left on the clock, we could be in for a very long Temple of Anubis, depending on how Valravn does this push.
Absolutely, and I want to give Grape Ape MVP of that whole round. I think it was Stack of Cups as the McCree, and he had his high noon lined up. He was about to kill off at least 4 or 5 people of the red team over there. But Grape Ape got a really sick deflect off, knocked out the McCree, and that's what won them that push. So that was a really excellent play by Grape Ape on the Genji earlier in their attack.
Exactly. So
all right,
we're going to see the attack here now from Valravn, and it's going to be... Oh, I'm seeing a hog for the first time. It looks like Trippin' Mars going for the Road Hog here, and Stack of Cups going for the Junkrat. So I think they're going to be, when they're pushing in, they're going to either dive or go left to try to take advantage of that small room here. And no other real changes. Yorick going to the Lucio here just for the speed boost.
I think having the Junkrat is a really great decision, especially if you're going to go left through the small corridor. You can just get so much damage out on the Junkrat, especially with the Pharaoh as well.
And now for Team 40, looks like Bagel in no real changes here. Grape Ape going to the, it looks like to,
Grape Ape on the Reaper.
Reaper, yes. Sorry, had a brain fart here. And here comes the engage from Valravn. Looks like they're just sort of hanging by the door, trying to figure out what they really want to do. And that's exactly what they do. They go left. They're going to try to use Stack of Cups as damage here to sort of push them back, break up that shield, and just sort of do damage. Rondo's going to get a ton of energy this way, so I can expect to see a fully charged Zarya sort of charge in, and that's exactly what we got. Little Spoon takes out 3, though, and that's going to be the end of this push for Valravn.
That was excellent by Little Spoon there. Putting out so much damage on the soldier.
Yeah,
Little Spoon is a really great DPS player.
He's a very, very good DPS player. And the counter to having a Junkrat on attack is getting that Zarya positioned in the right place to make sure that she soaks up enough of that energy so she becomes a DPSing machine instead of a tank. And that's exactly what we saw leading the charge. Now they finally go right this time, and they're going to take high ground here, and they're going to pretty much do it unopposed. They're going to speed all the way up, and now that's going to force Team 40 to sort of drop back onto the point here and defend from the low ground. And that's going to be a strict disadvantage for them. Valkyrie popped from Fuzzbug on Team 40 just to make sure that they get the advantage here. But Little Spoon, going ham, takes out 3 with the Soldier ult.
So good. Little Spoon is just, again, carrying this team hard. He's doing so much work on the DPS, getting all of those kills. It's just amazing to watch. Grape Ape is doing a lot of flanking as the Reaper. He's getting behind, he's distracting the healers, and it's just opening up Little Spoon to put out all that damage into the front lines when the tanks turn around.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on. And here comes the engage again. It looks like they've realized, Valravn have, that going high ground is probably going to be the advantage that they have. So it looks like Team 40 is going to then rotate back to the point again. And they're going to have to defend from the low ground here, so they have to be careful. But it looks like the Junkrat...
Stack of Cups.
Yeah, the Junkrat is sort of holding back, and he's going to try to catch somebody in the back, but the tire gets killed. But Valravn here is a little split. They're sort of all over the place. You've got a Hog on the high ground, and you've got a Winston sort of diving in. He's by himself. So they finally join him now, and it looks like Grape Ape takes out York with the Reaper ult. But the kills have been coming in for Team 40 here. It's like Trippin' Mars. It looks like the Lucio ult here at the end to make sure that they just sort of stay alive. Buttons is going to disengage, and that's going to be 1 minute left on the clock.
I do believe that Lucio ult at the end was a mistake.
And Raza, you're lagging.
And this is going to be last.
So we're gonna be going here exactly. So now, this is probably going to be the last engage for Valravn here. They have to make sure they get this right. Graviton comes out, takes out Siren Singer. That is huge. No mercy on this push is going to be so huge. Little Spoon does get taken out though. So Fuzzbug reses Little Spoon, so that's going to help them on the defense here. Stack of Cups has to sort of wait and sort of stall out. Yorick is going on the point. He gets killed right away. Could this be a full hold? No, they're going to have one more chance at it. Trippin' Mars up on the top here, just sort of stalling as best as he can. Rondo trying to take him out as fast as he can. Grape Ape takes out Trident.
And this is it. They have to get on point right now. That Diva's going to fly on.
Buttons is gone directly onto Fuzzbug. Fuzzbug has got to get away. And this is it. If they can get the kills here, Team 40 is going to get the full hold. But the Lucio ult pops up. Great Earth Shatter takes out Yorick.
Immediately res though. And there's a lot of kills on both sides. But it looks like this is going to go the way of blue.
Yeah, it looks like finally they've established. Valravn looks like they finally have the takes here. And they're going to get this. 5 men on the point. Nobody left for Team 40. And that is going to be it. Stack of Cups is going to sort of charge forward. Nope, he's coming back. He's going to make sure that he gets this take with the rest of his team. And 3:59 left on the clock. So it's going to be interesting.
Both teams have taken it in overtime, which is incredible to see.
So kudos to the defense on both sides, trying to hold it out as long as they can. But it looks like Valravn is going to just dive in immediately here. And Trippin' Mards gets demeched right away by Grape Ape. Little Spoon takes out Buttons and losing a main tank, but Buttons gets rezzed. A good res there by Siren Singer. And they're just going to keep the pressure on Team 40 here to see whether or not they can sort of get a pick or two. Graviton on the point. Buttons goes down, and so does 2 other players, thanks to Grape Ape. And that's going to be the end of the push there for Valravn.
Absolutely. I think Stack of Cups didn't quite realize the push was over, so he used his pulse bomb, and they won't have that for next fight, which is a shame. But that was a really great grab by Rondo, and that was a really good follow-up by Grape Ape. He got a lot of ult charge, and he got a lot of picks, which was good.
Yeah, so it looks like here they're going to have about 3 minutes to sort of like hold the point here, which is very, very doable by Team 40 here. It looks like the slight rotation by Valravn. They're going to come in through the left room here, and it looks like Team 40 is ready for that. So they're going to engage right away. They're going to need to get a pick immediately so that they can get this push in, or they're going to be stalled in this room. Big Earth Shatter here. And immediately the Valkyrie is popped. Diva Bomb hits into the background. Nobody hit by that, but 2 kills by Valravn here. They've got to sort of charge out. Lucio ult comes out. And the push here now, Valravn thinking that they have the advantage. Trident gets a couple kills, and it looks like they're going to be sort of pushing in. Trippin' Mars trying to sort of stay on the payload as best he can. It looks like the kills are going blue, but they still haven't gotten any percentage yet. Another Graviton comes out, and it gets caught up, and all the kills finally come.
Wow.
Wow!
That was incredible. Just one big burst of damage. That was excellent by Red Team. That was just so good.
How many Gravitons have we seen by Rondo now? That has to be 3, right? 3 or 4?
I think that's one every team fight, basically. One last team fight on point B, one just then. There was one on point A earlier. Rondo is just doing so much work in Zarya right now. Whenever Little Spoon's not carrying, Rondo decides to pick it up. This team is just so good at covering for each other. They work so well together. Their communication is really good, and I think if they get their ults, they can full hold this point.
Yeah, so it looks like they're still sort of holding on the engage here. They have a minute. So theoretically, if they can engage and wipe clean, they can come back and do it right away. But it looks like the focus here is finally set in for Team 40. They know that they just need to take out a couple players here and sort of stall out the point and then stall out the game.
That's not good. Trident ults right into the Reinhardt shield and kills himself.
Yep, and it looks like here, Trippin' Mars tried to get that Diva Bomb to stall, but he's going to get demeched. 45 seconds here. They were able to sort of wipe fast enough to give themselves another push, but it's got to be quick. It looks like the ults that they have to push on, they're going to have a look. No, Stack of Cups changing to the Bastion here for last. Yeah.
Wow.
They're gonna have Valkyrie here, so they're gonna be able to get an 8-man push if they can try, because Fuzzbud burned his in the last push. So 20 seconds left. If they're not ready for the Bastion.
Grape Ape's up top right now. He's going to get a really good Death Blossom off right now. And the Mercy's going to die. Oh, no, but the Zen ult comes out from Yorick. That was an excellent defensive ult.
And there's the Valkyrie that we saw. Bagel takes out Yorick, and kills go on both sides. Siren Singer gets the reses up. That Bastion is back up. He's going to just be firing into the point. Another Graviton onto the point. Sack of Cups, though, takes
Stack
out
of Cups
3.
doing so much work.
We are
That's
in
incredible.
overtime here. So that
was
Bastion
4
pick,
kills from Stack of Cups there.
that's a team kill, and that's going to be, unless they can, that's going to be on the extended take, so that's going to be a take by Valravn. What a pick by Stack of Cups.
Wow, that was a really brave move to change to Bastion, but it just paid off so well. They could not deal with all that damage.
Yeah, and you know what? We saw that pick, and it was a desperation pick because they knew they had to get damage on the point, and that was the only way to sort of do it.
And they did kill the Bastion, but the res the Bastion, and then he just sat down and did a lot of work because they couldn't focus him because the rest of the team was just doing so well, distracting them. Stack of Cups was just getting so much free damage out uncontested.
Well, what happened was his Stack of Cups did get taken out before the fight started, but of course Siren Singer was the only one with the ult left, and Siren Singer pulped the Valkyrie, res Stack of Cups, and Stack of Cups was able to do what he did right there. So kudos there to Team Cap of Valravn. Now, 2:22 left. So what happens here, folks, is that Team 40 has 2 minutes to take the first point, the first 33% of the first point, because they did force Valravn to take the point in overtime. So this is bonus time here, and Team 40 can win this map if they're able to take 33% here. So
I just want to give a quick shout out to Siren Singer, who's been doing so well on the Mercy, but he has been getting no credit from us. A lot of good reses and a lot of good healing. Shout out to Mercies.
Alright, and then and Stack of Cups gets immediately killed.
Already, Little Spoon doing work already.
The Little Spoon camped out behind the team. Look at the positioning here. They were not expecting this. Or were well, actually no, that this is what we were hoping for before from Team 40. We knew that Little Spoon was good on the Widow.
Yeah, and he gets contested by Tripping Mars, which is a really great hold. Tripping Mars needs to stay on top of that Widow if they're going to hold this. The true hold. Yeah,
they didn't because of the way that the mercy mechanic works. Even with the 1.5 seconds, they're able to sort of get a Stack of Cups right away. Even though there was a great pick by Little Spoon, but Little Spoon now has positioned himself on the top of the archway, so he's got free reign. They have about a minute here. They've got to be careful. They can't be in any open spaces here, or they're going to die. There goes Trippin' Mars. That's what I was worried about. So that now they're down a Diva, and they're a 6v5 here, so he's got to be careful. Looks like the fight here, the shield people are just afraid to sort of come out. They're going to use this to their advantage, and they're going to just sort of dive on the point to make sure that they just get this.
Gropep kills the Bastion, which is a really great pick. Little Spoon hasn't been getting many picks he needs. There it is. Yorick is dead. Immediately res though. They need to knock out that Mercy. And
Grape Ape there with the ult, just clearing out another support. Looks like a Lucio ult there. That's just to stall. I don't know if Trippin' Mars and Buttons are going to be able to do anything here. They've got to make sure that they stay on the point, or at least stall as long as they can. 30 seconds left. Yorick with a big Earth Shatter. Can he be the hero here? No, Bagel holds.
Not gonna happen. Tried him with his ult, but Bagel's shield's just gonna stop all of that damage completely.
Yeah, and
Little Spoon picks off Stack of Cups.
And that's not going to be enough time. And Team 40 gets the win in bonus time. That took the entire 2 minutes to do, but kudos to Team 40 there. Little Spoon with some big picks early on, and it basically sort of just brute forced their way in. Once that Widow was established on the point, it didn't allow Valravn to sort of defend the way they wanted the way they defend. And here's Stack of Cups basically just killing everyone. And we're going to go to a fourth map. As we update the scoreboard, and it will be Valravn's choice with Team 40 here taking now 2 wins. Oops. Excuse me. It'd be 3 points. So what are you thinking? Team 40 with the win there. Now up 2 maps to 1. It's going to be interesting what Valravn are going to choose.
Yeah, I'm expecting they're going to pick Dorado because Dorado seems to be the safe choice for people when they're feeling like they're at a disadvantage. I think whatever map we see, I think we're definitely going to see some El Presidente Bastions on the payload because Bastion's working so well, especially at this gold plat elo.
Can you check the
Um,
stream a bit? It looks like am I having a Discord error here?
I think it's me who's lagging still. Let me have a look. Well, this stream is buffering apparently.
Oh, interesting. It's trying to reconnect. There we go. The quality is sort of is pointing me out, and I think we're having issues here with the connection. It looks like with the delay. I'm not exactly sure. Sorry, folks. Looks like the connection here is having some real issues. Both Raza and I are sort of lagging very badly.
This is not the best stream today.
Yeah, we have to apologize for this. It looks like possibly we're getting some issues here. Should I restart OBS? Maybe that might help.
This is what a Hodahori and Raza stream is known for: low quality audio and constant buffering.
It looks like we're going to head to Gibraltar. And
Gibraltar is a very interesting pick. I'm going to disconnect for a moment while I try to fix my lag issues again because this is not going very well, apparently. I'll be back in a moment.
All right, I'm going to kill as much as I can here to see if possibly that might help. My stream, we are having real connection issues here, folks.